If you've lived anywhere in Central Valley of Northern California for long, you've probably heard it. Not almonds, amonds. Now, depending on who you are, you either don't notice it at all, or it just sticks out enough to make you think, wait a second, wasn't there supposed to be an L in there? Because there is. And yet, in a place that's grown more almonds than just about anywhere on earth, we've collectively tolerated a version of the word that just gets the L out of there. So tonight's question is simple. Why do we sometimes, say it like that? Not many people know. And what if I told you that the answer is a lot more fun and strange than you'd ever expect? So to understand this lore, you have to picture Lincoln as a piece of the Central Valley almond groves that peppered itself up all the way up to Chico from here. Not as it is now, but as it was when almond farming really started taking off. Long rows of trees, dust hanging in the air, heat that doesn't let up, and farmers who, if we were being honest, had a pretty strange sense of humor, or heat stroke, or maybe both, I don't know. Somewhere in that world, there's a story, right? Like a lot of good local stories, this one doesn't come up with a perfect timestamp or clean origin you can point to. Instead, it shows up the way that things like this usually do. Passed along in conversation, shared with a grin, and repeated often enough that it starts to feel familiar. And if you ask around long enough, you'll start to hear a consistent version from folks whose families have been here since it all began. There was a farmer, not famous, not officially important, just one of those guys who worked hard, knew his land, and liked to make people laugh. One day during harvest, he's standing out in the orchard, watching the trees get shaken. And if you've never seen almond, harvesting up close, it's something else, man. A machine rolls up, locks onto the trunk of the tree, and then, it doesn't gently shake it. It rattles that whole damn thing like it does at money. So the entire tree vibrates, branches whip back and forth, almonds fall in waves, and dust lifts into the air. The ground fills with rows of nuts, and if you're anywhere nearby, you feel it in your bones, like a small rattling earthquake moving through the orchard and straight into your house. When I lived on one, everything rattled at harvest so much. After every harvest, I remember getting up on the roof to pound in loose nails so it didn't leak that winter. It's no joke. Well, actually, it was a joke, right? So this farmer watching all of this turns to somebody nearby and says, well, we definitely shook the hell out of that one. And then because timing is everything, of course, he adds, shoot, we shook the L out of it too. Guess they're gonna just amonds from now on. That's it. A quick, perfectly timed dad joke. The kind you say once and then get right back to work. Except this one had staying power, right? Because it connects something real. And, you could see the shaking, you could feel the impact, and the wordplay lands instantly, right? So it gets repeated. Kids hear it, neighbors pick it up, and after a generation, it settles in as family tradition. Now we see an entire community saying a word in a certain way simply because it was shared, repeated, passed down naturally over time. Nothing in the Funk and Wagners, no unspoken rule, man. It's just something that started small and sounded cool and quietly became an inside joke that you might have been a part of since the story grew legs of its own. It's so uniquely Lincoln, strange, in fact, that the Landis family was probably somehow involved. So anyways, reality check, right? So California produces around 80% of the world's almonds. The Central Valley is one of the most productive almond growing regions on Earth. Almonds and walnut groves have historically existed in Lincoln, and you can still find them just northwest of here, right? Mechanical tree shakers violently vibrate the trees during harvest. The shaking is strong enough to be felt across all of the surrounding orchards. And, here's a really interesting thing, right? So English naturally drops the L in words like salmon, calm, palm, but this one's different, right? If you think about it, it's not natural for English and not phonetically sensible, right? So we'd all be talking about how dumb it is to have an L in it, just like salmon, right? There's no official record of the joke's origin, but the story continues to be shared, right? And, especially those closest to the land. The part of the story I love the most, though, is that it's a chicken egg story with a twist. Some people have heard the joke about shaking the L out, but that joke is the origin of the pronunciation. That over generations just kind of became how some folks say it. So the next time you hear someone say Amonds, you're hearing more than just pronunciation, right? You're hearing a little piece of local culture and maybe one of the longest running inside jokes in Central Valley history. And the best part, it still works to this day. So before I wrap up, I want to give a huge shout out to the Lincoln Area Archives Museum. These incredible folks keep our town's history alive. Every map, every newspaper clipping, every folder packed with stories just like this one. If you've never been in, you're missing out. So thanks for watching another Strange Stories of Lincoln. Keep your eye out for the next episode. If you like this one, share it on YouTube with someone who cares about our town or simply likes storytelling. As always, I'm Mike Crossfield, a local business owner trying to build a better Lincoln together. Thank you. Good night.